Well, last time I slept over in the city, I got my tires slashed. So.
Why were you there?
My friend just moved there. Decided to stay over. Came out in the morning, tires slashed. So now I've been hesitant to just.
It's like almost like somebody purposely did that to your car.
At first, I thought that could have happened. Like somebody followed me.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
Gave me these sports picks.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm slashing this man's tires.
This guy lost.
I'm paying my bookie. I'm slashing this man's tires.
His tires are done.
Welcome to Selling Your Circle. I'm your host, Juliana Gainsburg, and on this show, we talk all things business development, entrepreneurship, and investing. Each week, we'll have a different guest because, after all, it's about expanding the circle and keeping it fed. If you like what you hear, follow us on all of your favorite streaming platforms.
Welcome back to Selling Your Circle podcast. I'm your host, Juliana Gainsburg, and today I have with me a surprise guest, someone I didn't realize I was going to be filming with this week, but today we have Dan Seravalli from Enterprize Sports.
Yes. Appreciate you having me.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
you
coming.
asking to come on the show. I'm happy we actually can make it happen.
Yeah.
Because originally I was actually supposed to not be here this week, but things got pushed back a little bit, so I'm actually leaving next week. So.
Yeah, you're like, well, I could do it in a few days, but then I'm gone.
Yeah.
Season.
Yeah. I'll be gone for 4 months. So.
You will not be home not once?
Probably twice, but it's only going to be for like a day or two, just to check on my house, and then.
Yeah.
I'll be back out.
That's for Enterprise Sports college tour.
Enterprise Sports. We're doing a college tour. We've been involved with college content, whether it be with fraternities, sororities, just the bar life at different colleges, and then the football games, obviously. So we're going to be covering a little bit of it all this time, but I'm legitimately going to be on the road for 4 straight months.
Are you happy about it?
I'm so happy. I'm so excited, but definitely nervous too, because it's like I've never done.
So that's your first
like
time doing that?
Yeah. We've done stuff in the past where like it's weekends and I come home, but this is legit on the road.
I guess you're gonna find out how that affects your personal life.
Yeah. I'm gonna see how it affects a lot of things. Pretty much me being the boss of 3 other guys and just kind of orchestrating that. But yeah. I think we have a good crew, good team. We're excited.
So the breakdown of Enterprise Sports is you and 2 other guys?
So it's me and my friend Doug who started it.
Mm-hmm.
You asked me about Stone. Stone's actually just a guy who's done some content with us. I don't know why he's still on our page.
I saw that you guys had a highlight of him, and I'm like, all right, I don't really see this guy too much, but he's there.
No,
so
nobody's
ask
seen
about
Stone
him.
in a while. Stone actually lives in West Palm Beach, Florida, and he works for ESPN now. So
that's
Stone, we don't see much of Stone anymore, but when he can come up and do some stuff with us, it's always great.
Yeah.
But there's 3 owners now: me, my friend Doug, and then this guy Craig who lives in Nashville. He's
okay.
Actually
and do you have?
Too.
Do you have any other paid positions, like anybody else that works for you guys?
Yeah, so the 3 other guys that are coming with us, one's a camera guy, and then 2 other guys who are going to be involved with content. They also have a podcast, so they'll be recording on the road too. I'll be involved with that. So we'll be streaming just about every night. They'll be doing their podcast on the weekend. We'll probably be doing a podcast to wrap up each week to kind of just tell our experience about where we just were. And so I'll be back in the podcast game.
I think that's super cool.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So our plan is to pull into a university on Wednesday, stay there till Saturday, and just kind of film a week the restaurant life. Like I said, the sororities. Sorry about hitting the mic. The frats.
Doesn't want to wear headphones.
And then Saturday is the game day. So tailgate and then the game.
And then leave Sunday. And use those 3 days to travel to the next spot.
Yeah.
And are you flying everywhere?
No, we're driving.
What are you driving?
So by the end of this week, we're hoping to have an RV.
Nice.
And we want to wrap it in our logo and stuff. So the sponsor that we're working with, I'm not going to say at the moment because it's not set in stone yet, but they're probably going to cover it. And
so at this point, are you all in on Enterprise?
Oh, yeah. No, it's
your full-time
100%.
job?
We're 4 years in, and it's full time.
That's amazing.
So it's exciting. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, for sure.
When did that come about? Like, when were you like, okay, we're going to launch this?
So originally, me and my buddy Doug were going to do a sports betting podcast, and this was, I think, October of 2019 when we had this plan. And we were always into funny content, like you mentioned, that you used to do funny videos and stuff. But we did the same type of thing back in the day with Vine.
Yeah.
And
I miss Vine so
Vine
much.
Vine was the best. We never took it serious, and we're always like, why didn't we just do what we did back then? Because we feel like it could have blown up. But nonetheless, it was just going to be like a podcast, sports betting podcast, actually. And it's funny because it turned into everything but sports betting.
Mm-hmm.
So like we were originally going to do a podcast about that, and we've done just about everything. But like we've incorporated some stuff, but it's never been like our full push.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. So we were like going to sporting events, and then COVID happened. And we started doing interviews on our page with different athletes, different like just people in media and entertainment, and just started growing a following from that. And then the man on the street stuff that you see started like doing really well.
Yeah. That's like my favorite content.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
I mean, I personally enjoy sports, like associated content. But I just think you just never know what people are going to say.
Never. No.
And when people see you with the mic, like they don't even know who you are. Like they don't even know who you are, let's just say.
No.
But they see you with the mic and they're just like, I'm running at that. Like they want to be in it.
Especially when they've had a few drinks.
Yeah.
They say it, or like you can go up to them when they're intoxicated and just bring them on.
Yeah.
But like you never know like what you said people are going to say or what people are going to do. If you saw the Penn State video, it's a perfect example. Interviewing a guy, he just leaves and gets into a full out brawl.
This guy, literally, he's just like talking to him about his life. And I guess he realizes that behind him is like one of his boys. I feel like he had to know that kid.
He did.
He wouldn't just hop in that.
No. It was like one of his friends that got into a fight. Apparently like a beanbag was from, what is it, cornhole?
Yeah.
Was thrown at a girl. And that kind of orchestrated the whole
and you
fight.
can like see it all kind of unraveling
You see a guy get
behind
punched
you
in
guys.
the face. And then
he just comes up. He's like, oh, wait, 1 second. And like leaves the interview and just rocks the guy.
A full-fledged brawl. And 30 million views later, you know.
Yeah.
Here it is, yeah. So that's definitely the biggest video we had, and we have to go back to Penn State. So like that's on the tour as well.
Penn State's rowdy no matter what.
Yeah, especially the whiteout game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to the whiteout game. It's an experience.
Yeah, I'm like the most not college person ever.
Did you go to college? Same. Well, I went for like 1 semester at the community college, like a semester.
What community college?
Burlington County College.
Are you from Jersey originally?
I am. I grew up in Delran, which isn't too far from here.
Yeah.
And you grew up in Northeast Philly.
Yeah, like Bucks County, Lower Bucks.
Yeah. Okay.
And I went to Bucks in like Newtown.
Did you know what you wanted to do or no?
I went for small business and entrepreneurship. I was running a screen printing and embroidery company out of high school.
Okay.
And I didn't want to actually do that for the rest of my life. Like I didn't want to build that business. So after like a semester, I was like looking around at all these hairdressers and landscapers, and nothing against what they were doing. They were building something they were passionate about. And I wasn't going to get anything from that major. And I just hated it. I just hated going to school.
And now you do real estate.
Yeah.
How did that?
So I was waitressing during senior year of high school. Or maybe even younger than that, I got into the restaurant industry while doing the screen printing and embroidery. Then as I got like through senior year, it was more about money than being like involved in anything. And then I was waitressing at a casino. I was part of the opening staff for 2 new restaurants at a casino in Bucks County. And
Parks.
Yeah.
Nice.
So during that time, I was like about to leave school, and my dad was like, you can't just leave. And I knew that. I wasn't going to just leave and be a waitress. That wasn't like the plan. But I just was always in like sales. I used to make these socks when I was like real young and like sell them, trap them out of my trunk at high school.
Love it. How'd that go? Did that go well?
The socks?
Was that a hit?
The socks were a hit. Football team, lacrosse, soccer team, everybody loved them.
Imagine trapping out the trunk with some socks. Love it.
So I always was selling something. And so I've said it on the podcast before in other interviews, like, instead of selling chicken parms, I decided to sell houses. So before I left school, I decided that I was going to get my real estate license, went to real estate school, and figured if it didn't work out, I'd go back, and it worked out.
Good for you. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing that? And how long ago was this that you started that?
I've been in real estate for a little over 4 years now.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. And you live where now?
This interview is now about me. I live in Philadelphia.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
How do you like Philly?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah. Like my
Wish I could
first.
say the same. Philly's a dump. I'm sorry.
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
It is, but it isn't. I mean, that's fair. Are you in the city?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to tell people where I live.
No. We're going to keep it brief. Exactly. Yeah. And what building? No, I just want to keep. I didn't know
He's
if you were
giving direct
outside.
coordinates.
Because I'm in the Northeast, and I'm outside
So
the
my
city.
parents are from the Northeast, very familiar with the Northeast. While I was very young, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents who were in the Northeast, but most of my time was in Bensalem. That's like where I primarily grew up.
Nice.
I moved to the city during pandemic. I just need like a fresh start out of a relationship, and I was making good money as a real estate agent, so I could live on my own.
Yeah.
So I just pieced out, even though if you're young and you're listening to this and you start making money, stay at home as long as possible and don't do what I did. But it was good, and I'm glad I did it. I don't regret it because a lot of good things happened from being in the building that I was living in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to Keller Williams convention in Dallas in 2020, right before the pandemic. Probably started there, to be honest with you. And I just so happened to be in a like really bougie hotel room with a really good view of Dallas, and I didn't pay for it. It just like happened, like whatever the upgrade was. And I remember calling my dad. It was like my first trip, like solo. Like I flew there by myself. I had no intentions of being with people. Like I was just went there to just do it. And I was obsessed with the city view. And at the time, I was trying to buy a condo in Newtown in Bucks County. And I'm like, this is the safe route. Like, this is like, I'll be comfortable. Like, it's affordable. And I can like keep this for like 3 years and keep it as an investment property and buy something else. Like, this was like the you should do this route. And instead, I was like, I'm going to take, I don't know, I guess at the end of the year, probably was like $24,000 for a year of rent. So I was like, I'm going to go live in a bougie city apartment and like get it out of my system, and then I'll go back to the suburbs after.
That didn't happen.
No.
Cool. Well, last time I slept over in the city, I got my tires slashed. So.
Why were you there?
My friend just moved there. So I was visiting him, decided to stay over, came out in the morning, tires slashed. So now I've been like hesitant to just
It's like
park my
almost like
car in the
somebody
city.
like purposely did that to your car.
Well, 3 other cars on the same block had their tires slashed. So at first I thought that could have happened. Like somebody followed me out there, but that didn't happen. So
Oh, you
yeah,
gave me
yeah.
shitty sports picks.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm slashing this man's tires.
This guy lost.
I'm paying my bookie. I'm slashing this man's
His
tires.
tires are done. No, yeah.
Hammered the over because of this guy, and now I'm gonna go slash his tires.
Listen, I would have thought that if shitty sports. Yeah, no. You shouldn't listen to my sports bets anyway. Doug's the guy to listen to.
So back in the day, this is where I think I get it from subconsciously, but my dad did like a sports talk show when I was very young. Like same timeline as Barstool, and I like feel bad because like they were doing the same shit and my dad just like wasn't aware of it. He was probably like 10 or 15 years older than him, so Portnoy. So like he just didn't know. And he didn't follow through with it. And maybe if he would have, it could have been something. But he had like a whole podcast. It was live on YouTube. He was on a local radio station for a while. And it all started with picks. So like I have a little bit of experience with that.
Okay. And he was on YouTube when YouTube was like just starting. How long ago was this? You said 15 years ago?
No, I was saying that he's like 15 years older than Dave Portnoy.
Oh, okay.
So if you think about where his mindset was in his like sphere, it's not the same level as someone who's like fresh into social media and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I think that was part of the reason why he didn't like advance like he could have because he wasn't like young enough.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, Dave, I think was 26 when he started Barstool.
Right. I'm thinking about it. My dad probably was doing the like videos and stuff when he was like late 40s.
Okay. But same timeline, same like 2003.
Yeah, like he started this website where he would put his picks out, like early 2000s.
Yeah.
And so it was the same
cool
timeline.
Icons and like
stuff. And it was like
old school
people's
internet.
names, and it was like he did some like vlog or blog stuff. Like it was literally the same shit.
It's a shame.
Like he just didn't know.
It's a shame, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's why I have some like I'm like spitting out stuff here.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
Slashing your tires.
We don't need to talk about that. No, it's funny. It was a long day the next day. It's funny because if Dave never started what he started, I probably wouldn't have started what I started.
Is that like someone that you'd say you like look up to in that sense?
Yeah, in a sense. Now I almost look at it as like competition. Crazy enough.
Do you think you'd ever get the call from them?
I think it could. I mean, it could happen. I know people that work at Barstool now, and they've said like, "Would you ever go?" And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. We're gonna see where this takes me at the moment. If like bigger things were to happen, I've got an offer. I definitely listen to it.
I think there's a dollar amount to everything, right?
Of course.
I think there's pros and cons. Like you've built something yourself, so do you necessarily need them?
Yeah.
No, but yes, because it could take it to a whole nother level.
Of course. Yeah. Like it's definitely like a platform that has been built well, and a lot of people, see them. So I never say it's, out of question, but I like being my own boss too.
Yeah. What did you do before this?
I bartended.
Nice.
I was a bartender. So, and I really
all the
didn't
good
know,
entrepreneurs come from restaurant industry.
Yeah, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I did like a bunch of stupid jobs, and
Yeah.
and then we started in my mom's basement. So that was 4 years ago. Funny enough.
Interesting. It's interesting to see how something could have like exponential growth, and 4 years is not a long time.
No, it's not. And I feel like we still have a long way to go.
Right.
But to see some of the videos take off, it's definitely rewarding.
So for Enterprize Sports U, what's like the difference?
So originally the U page was just like an athletes page, because 2 years ago college athletes were able to get paid. So we got into that world too with NIL. So we still do a little bit of it. Doug's more the guy for that. He has a relationship with a lot of the athletes that we've worked with, kids from Alabama, North Carolina, and Georgia. Georgia probably is because Branson Robinson, who's a running back at Georgia, is probably the biggest kid that we have now.
Yep. I watched that video today.
Okay, yeah. So he's probably the biggest athlete that we have. And yeah, so like that was originally why the page was built. It was just to kind of post the athletes that we were working with.
Yeah.
But now it's probably going to be just the tour stuff on there. So
And
it's
like
going to become the tour page.
College meme.
Yeah, just
type
all
of stuff.
college funny videos. And
Now, do you have someone who's posting everything?
pretty much me and Doug.
And is there like a plan for that?
What do you mean?
To like get out of doing
Of
out
course.
being the
Yeah,
ones?
like we have interns too, like who have done some of the posting. But for the most part, it's me and him that do a lot of the posting. More him.
Yeah.
He posts a lot more than me. He
I
does
would-
more of the editing
Yeah.
and stuff.
So do you do editing as well?
I do some, but for when we go on tour, the biggest thing is pushing our YouTube channel. Like we have a really good camera guy, and then we're going to have some good video editors. So
How does the YouTube do?
not great, because we haven't really like pushed it really hard. So like that's the plan this fall. It's to really have long length videos, 15 to 20 minutes of the whole, whether we're at Alabama, our whole time we've spent there.
That's
And
always something I say I want to be better at.
usually,
I just popped up your YouTube. Sorry about that.
go for it.
Is it the one with the blue logo?
Correct.
Looks good, dude. Let's go.
It looks like we definitely post some shorts.
Well,
But
that's
we gotta
like I
put
want to
the long
monetize that.
Correct. And but the longer length videos is where you get
Yeah.
the money. And it's where you get, I feel like, more just known. I feel like it's where you get more publicity, just the longer length videos. You're on camera more. It's like, I feel like people kind of have an introduction to your life.
I guess it
and they feel like
depends
they
on the
kinda-
audience though, because like, for instance, back to Barstool again. Like I am a BFF's podcast
Yeah.
fan. Like I like that a lot
Do you like Josh?
as a person.
Just on the show.
Sure.
Okay.
I never really followed him until
I think he's good.
I only started watching that. I've always been a Portnoy fan, but I only started watching it because of Brianna Chicken Fry. That's like how I started watching.
And she's
show.
exploded.
Yeah. I love her
Pretty
story.
much from the podcast. So I know she was big on TikTok beforehand, but she's exploded.
Like everyone kept tagging Barstool in her TikToks, and then they brought her in to be like an intern, and they were like, wait a second, we're just gonna like offer you like $70K or like whatever it was.
They realized she was good.
Yeah. Like immediately off the bat, they're like, forget being an intern. Like we didn't realize what we have here. And then she blew up from that, got her own podcast, started becoming creator for Barstool. And then from there, I don't know what happened where the BFFs thing came into play, but I thought it was pretty smart. And yeah, that has like launched her completely. But that's why I started listening to that. But the reason why I brought that up was because for the longest time, I wouldn't watch episodes. I would just watch their TikToks.
You like that short, just entertainment. No patience for the long episode.
No patience. Attention span. Nothing.
I love podcasts. It's just like, I feel like obviously Rogan kills it. I'll listen to Rogan when he has a good guest on.
Yeah.
I'm very much like about the guests. Like I feel like if it's a good guest, I'll be more inclined to listen to a whole episode.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like the short, a lot with our TikToks, it's like I try and keep it like 10, 15 seconds, like a quick hit, and let it just roll.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what people like. People's attention span just isn't long.
No, it's pretty bad.
Do you listen to Plan Brie as well?
Not as much, but I do.
Do you like Grace?
Yeah.
You do.
I like when they do stuff like when they're like in their Boston like jerk off accents.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
They like do this thing where they like talk like they're idiots.
Okay.
And they're like, from Boston.
Oh, wait a minute. I feel like I've seen it.
And it's like a whole, like their faces, everything changes. Like they literally like turn into these characters. It's like the craziest thing.
And how big is she on YouTube now? I feel like she's grown on YouTube because she was doing vlogs because she was doing this stuff at colleges too.
Yeah. Well, she did the whole college tour.
Correct.
Which, again, like I think that's such a good idea. Like great way to monetize. She sold merch. She had like VIP stuff. She had lines. She would go to bars before and after.
And that's what we're going to be doing too. Like the bar life, we'll be at a lot of the big bars because the brand that we're working with is a alcoholic brand. So just about anywhere we go, they'll be putting their products in the bars that we're going to. So
he won't tell us what the brand is, but it's fine.
I understand it.
Well, it's not done yet.
It's in the
so we
works.
expect
No,
it to
I
be
get
done
it.
tomorrow or the next day. So if you have me on
I don't-
again, I'll tell you all about it.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm locking you in now. Now you have to come back. Now you can't leave. Okay, so let's just switch this up a little bit.
Now you just can't leave. It's a good Bronx Tale reference.
Thank
right
you.
there.
Brownie points for me. Anyways,
It's a great scene, by the way. Can you tell me what song's playing during that scene?
I can hear it, but I don't know the name of it, and I will not sing it.
Can you?
I think I got it in my head, but I'm probably wrong.
Go ahead, say it. Famous band.
Is it a Rolling Stones song?
No, it's close though.
No,
Same time, probably the rivalry.
Okay. No. Go
It's-
ahead. You tell.
Come Together by the Beatles.
Okay. Great song.
it's not what
That's
I
a good
had in
guess
my
though
mind.
on the Rolling Stones.
I thought it was "Please Meet You." Help you. And that might
That's
not
a
even
different.
be Rolling
That's
Stones.
another like mob movie
Oh,
when
they're
like
all,
chaos.
Yeah, they all have banger soundtracks.
Yeah, that's in my top 5
Of
movies.
all-time movies or just mob movies? You're just nodding your head.
Top 5 all movies.
Okay.
What's your wait? All right, we're
You were gonna ask me what my
honestly,
top
I'm
5
gonna switch up the whole notes. I don't even care about what I wrote down.
Yeah, go for it.
Top 5 sports movies.
Oh God. See, like I almost had 2 different categories for
Okay,
sports
give me
movies
2.
because you have comedy and then you have like legit movies.
Okay. Legit movies first.
Legit movies first. Number 1 would probably be The Natural, baseball movie.
Okay.
Never seen it.
I know what it is, but I haven't watched it
Okay.
start to finish. Attention span 0.
Number 2. This is in no specific order though.
Okay.
Probably Rudy.
I was hoping you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
That was the first one I
Rudy's
had in my
great.
mind.
Remember the Titans, definitely. Miracle. God, what's another good sports movie? Hoosiers, probably. Hoosiers, I would put.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams too. That's another one I was thinking. It's
A
great.
League of Their Own. Got to throw the girls in there
Do I though?
for the women,
Yeah, for the women.
for the chicks.
It wouldn't have made my top 5, but good movie.
It's not
I
in the
like
top
movie.
5.
It's a good movie.
But it's a good movie.
There's
no crying in baseball. Did we just become best friends?
Yeah, I think it's happening. I think it's happening. So like top 5.
You can't leave me hanging.
What is this? I don't even know what this is. So now we go to like funny movies.
Yeah.
It's probably Happy Gilmore is probably 1. Longest Yard maybe.
Okay.
Double Adam Sandler.
I know.
Sandlot?
Big Adam Sandler guy over
The
here.
Sandlot. I feel like The Sandlot's gonna
Yeah,
be in
classic. Blindside. But whole lot of beef right now
Wait,
of Blindside.
there. Yeah,
That's
It's not funny, but it's not like serious either.
Blindside's a good movie
Isn't
though.
that?
I mean, it's like a rom-com.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Sports.
It's like Sandra Bullock. They think
They
she-
have
Isn't that
jokes
real?
in it.
That's real. That's
it's
like,
a real story about
yeah.
Michael Orr, but it's coming out that like he kind of
Yeah.
got Britney Spears.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think
Hollywood.
that that's what he means, though. I think he means that they didn't give him the full of what he should have been owed from the movie proceeds.
Oh.
I don't know if it's from. I don't know. I honestly didn't read the whole thing.
I didn't either. I saw.
We're like, yeah,
Blindside-
all right,
I saw
whatever.
Blindside 2 preview with him holding a chair next to Sandra Bullock's head. So that's probably.
I think you made that meme.
I didn't
you.
make that meme. I promise. I saw it today.
There's one that didn't make it on the comedy list though, and it's also a rom-com
Sports?
kind of.
MVP.
No, not MVP.
Most valuable friend.
Airbud.
No.
What did I say? I think I didn't even finish. What did I name? Like
You
3?
didn't. Yeah, you were at 3.
I was at 3.
Yeah.
Other funny sports movie. Dodgeball.
Oh, that's great.
Dodgeball's got to be on there. No.
I could live without it.
You're not a fan of dodgeball?
I'm not. It's not my top 5.
Semi-pro.
Replacements.
No.
No.
What?
No, not top 5.
Keanu?
No.
What? Oh, you guys have to rewatch it again. Sorry.
We don't have to rewatch it. It's not in our top 5.
Sorry.
Dom, you let me down on that one.
That movie is, whew, all right.
I can't think of anything else at the top of my head.
Mighty Ducks.
Stop saying what I'm thinking. It's annoying. God.
All right, so what's your top 5 movies then? You go Bronx Tale's in the top 5. Bronx Tale, very good movie. Does it make my top 5 movies ever? I don't know about that, but it is a good movie. Robert De Niro's character, very
mobster movies.
Appreciate it. Underappreciated, I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best mob movie then?
Goodfellas.
Okay, you say Goodfellas.
Is there a better mob movie than Goodfellas? That would top Goodfellas?
I don't know. I feel like The Godfather 2 is a good argument.
I think that all Godfathers should be in their own category.
So you separate all 3.
It's just, you just have movies and then you have The Godfather. All of them. 1, 2, and 3.
Goodfellas is probably number 1.
There's just so many lines. I'm going to go get the papers.
Jimmy, what's up, guy? Nicky Eyes.
Jimmy 2 times.
Me 2 times is go get the papers. Yeah, but what was I gonna
Exactly,
say?
that's what I'm saying.
But like most mob people who I've seen like interviews with, they say Goodfellas is the most realistic.
Yeah.
They say
Not a movie, but I'm also big Sopranos fan.
Sopranos is great.
Like that, I just could rewatch it over and over.
Sopranos is really good.
Yeah.
Love Christopher. Christopher I think is my favorite in the show. Or Paulie. Paulie's great too.
My friend has a shirt that says like, you know, like in like mid 2000s, if like someone passes away, they would used to do like on the boardwalk like those like graffiti like not even passes away, like the birthday thing with like the person's face on it and it'd be like their name, like bubble letters. He has like a Adriana shirt. It like says our name on it, like R.I.P. Like it's like real.
Does he wear
shirt.
it?
Yeah.
He wears it out?
Yeah, I'll have to find you a picture before you leave.
I'd
You're
love
from
that.
the Northeast?
From the Northeast.
Well, you live in the Northeast.
I
You're
live
not
in
from the Northeast.
I'm not from the Northeast, no.
Yeah. If you were, you'd know him.
Just moved over there in the last year.
Nice. Do you like it?
Yeah, so far it's still a little.
So you moved there from Jersey?
Correct.
Why? Never heard of that.
Little story. So my aunt passed away, and I had the option of buying her house, and I got her house.
Oh, nice. That makes sense.
So yeah.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
No, I appreciate
Not nice.
it. Yeah. It was,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
yeah,
it was-
buy your
no,
aunt's
no.
house.
Yeah, so that's the main reason why. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have, but
Yeah.
you know, still getting used to it.
Yeah.
I have a skunk problem.
So
Strangely
you're in
enough.
like the suburbs Northeast.
I'm in the suburb. I'm right near Holy Family,
Okay, yeah.
but
That's like
I
the
have a
tip.
skunk problem. Like I legitimately have a skunk. There's 8 skunks by my house every night, and they get in my yard, and then I like nervous to walk out my door because I don't feel like getting absolutely tattooed
Yeah.
by a skunk. So yeah, this happens.
That's
every
like a
night.
Ben Salem problem.
Just in general, Ben Salem has a skunk problem.
No, like rodents and stuff like that.
No,
Like
the
we have
ro-
like groundhogs, skunks. That's growing up in Ben Salem. That was like in the summer is always a thing, skunks.
Yeah, I don't.
But that's
I-
'cause
I
you're,
don't
like, on the
think-
border
I think I've
there.
seen one skunk in my life before I moved here, and now I see them every night.
Skunks don't go to Jersey.
I guess not. I guess not. And I guess
Oh my God, we bounced around so much. Okay, let's do a couple questions.
are you asking me questions? or
Yeah, I'm
am
gonna
I
ask you
some
questions.
too?
I wanted to do some stuff from that you guys do on your page. So, craziest thing that happened to you in college, but you didn't go to college. So during the years of what you would have been in college.
Probably my friend getting drunk and trying to fight a cop. I think I've talked about that in one of our other videos before, but it was bad.
What was the ending?
He went to jail. I had to do a lot of community service. It wasn't good.
Why did he want to fight the cop?
Because the cop, he was just too intoxicated, and he was just being dumb, and he was like mouthing off to the cop, and the cop was like, "You need to go home," and he was like,
Was this at a
"He
college?
was at Rowan."
Okay. And did
Yeah.
you, like we said, we both didn't go to college, but I went to like Penn State a lot. I went to Kutztown. I had a lot of friends that decided to go away, let them get the college debt. Is that like the same for you?
Did I go away to like different colleges?
Did you, like,
So
go-
like my
go to
friends,
colleges 'cause you didn't
One
go
of my
away?
friends went to Miami, so I went and visited him. Doug went to Maine. Another couple of friends went to West Virginia. So yeah, I like bounced around. Temple, even local schools, Penn.
Yeah.
But it was always nice to like go to
I
a
just
school
like
for a
didn't
while.
really want to go away.
Like,
I didn't want to live in a dorm.
yeah, I can see that. But now, like going,
You can see that with me or just in general?
like in general.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how.
I wasn't sure if that was a judge of character off of the first 20 minutes
like,
of meeting
No,
me.
but the idea of living in a dorm like does kind of suck.
Yeah, I went and toured Westchester, like my junior year of high school, and I was like, what the fuck?
Westchester's a cool school, though.
I love the town.
Yeah.
I loved everything about that college. If I would have went away, it would have been there. But they showed us like the shitty dorms first and the no air conditioning, like tan wood furniture, like it smelled in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like remember calling my dad.
Widener, and it was probably even worse.
Yeah, I've heard things.
Let alone living in Chester,
I wouldn't have chose that.
Yeah.
But I remember like they took us to the fancier ones after, like the refurbished ones at the time. And it was like an extra $4 or $5 grand more a year. And I remember calling my dad and I'm like, dude, if I'm going here, I gotta be in one of these things, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm staying home. I'm not doing this.
I'm out.
I'm an only child and I've never had to share
anything. Only child.
Do you have siblings?
I do. I have a younger brother.
Can't
younger
relate.
brother. Yeah, that's it. Just one sibling. He's taking up a lot of my mom's. My younger brother's autistic, so like I feel like it's a different situation, but
Yeah.
he's a good kid. He's high functioning, so it's good.
Yeah, definitely different
He'll
situation.
be coming to some of the trips with me. He was gonna film for me a little bit.
I love that.
Yeah, he's cool.
Get the whole fam involved.
He loves it. So
What is it when you first started with it? Your parents, were they like skeptical?
of course.
They're like, what the
My
hell are
mom
you
was like,
doing?
what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's always, were you making money? Are you making money? For a while, we weren't making money. So
You're like, no, but trust the process.
I'm always like, no, but when we do, and
then you'll be happy.
yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I say to my dad.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
not making money yet, though.
But I guess they don't see that
No, I am. I look different
immediate
ways.
results, and they're so used to the way things are supposed to be, how
Right.
society has structured things. They don't know any different.
So with the sports betting stuff, do you guys still really do anything with that or no?
See, we're going to be getting more into it because we have a couple different sports betting companies that want to do. They want to sponsor the trip, so it's going to happen more and more now.
Yeah.
Like we'll give out picks on Saturdays. I think in time we could do a show, like a college football show on Saturdays. So there's a lot to come. There's a lot to come.
I've been finding out more girls that I'm friends with that actually like bet sports, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't even think that you would have the FanDuel app or any of that.
Yeah. Now with like the easy access of it,
Yeah.
why not get into it?
When I first got into real estate, I started to learn more about stocks because I was like, okay, I'm like young and I want to be able to have conversations with men that are like, it's a predominantly male industry at the time. It's actually, I think it's changed now, but it's always been like the average age of a real estate agent is 55. So I'm like, okay, what are the other things I could talk about besides real estate that like will get me into the door personality wise? And so I had like a decent knowledge of sports, and stocks was like the other thing that I brought in. But every single time talking about betting sports, like one, like I remember one of my first trips for Keller Williams, I went to Arizona for a KW Young Professionals thing, and they sat us all at this table. It was really hard to like meet people because we were all like in a line at this table. And to the right, I have 4 like mid-30s guys, and I'm like not in either side conversations, and I'm just like trying to figure out like where my place is with this. And someone brings up hockey, and I just like made something up. Like I just like knew that the Flyers had played the night before, and I was like, oh, like got murdered on the over on that. Like I thought that was a lock, and immediately it was like. It was like, you say that's a lock? And I was like, yeah, what?
You were like, that's a term, right?
I immediately was accepted into that conversation.
There
And
you
it's
go.
just like silly how shit like that. Like,
Yeah. Like the one meme is so true with guys. It's like guys can literally sit around for 3 hours and just name old sports players and
Yeah.
just be entertained.
Yeah.
It's so true.
I think it's interesting. Like, I can't remember players' names for shit. But then, like, there's other things that I could, like, just spit out. Whereas, like,
But
maybe it's not the other way around for guys. I feel like guys just naturally can just memorize names and stats. Like, it's just like a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is something they really care about.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever really, really cared about sports?
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you into it now?
I think I'm getting back to it. I think the pandemic really just, like,
Yeah.
I just didn't
sucked.
give a shit anymore.
It sucked.
But last year we had really good run for Eagles, really good run
The
for
Phillies,
Union. I don't give a
Phillies and
shit
Eagles.
about soccer, but
Phillies
yeah.
and Eagles, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know the Union were in the championship till the day of the Phillies. Was it?
Lost.
I think it was. Yeah, it was the same day the Phillies
Yeah.
lost, right?
We just
Yeah.
lost everything all
I didn't
in
even
one
know
day.
they were in the championship till I saw that afternoon they were in like penalty kicks and
Yeah.
and they lost.
Flyers, I've always gone to hockey games my whole life.
Hockey's fun.
I like played sports video games growing up. Like I was into it.
Yeah.
But the Flyers continue to let us down year and year again. I mean, for the past 20 years, it's been dump and chase hockey. So like,
Yeah, since Ed
What do you
Snyder
want?
died, the whole organization pretty much died. We'll see what happens.
but what about the Sixers? What do you think about that?
I think they're a joke.
What do you think
they're a
this year is
joke.
going to
I think
happen?
James Harden's a joke. Well, Ben Simmons was obviously a loser. I don't know what's going to happen this year. I really don't.
Well, we have to trade Harden because he can't leave unless
Well,
we trade
yeah,
him.
no, he doesn't want to be here anymore.
Like, how does that work? Are we going to be in a situation again where like we just bench someone because they don't want to be there and we don't want to trade them?
Well, I think they want to trade him, but I don't think they want to trade him to where he wants to go. That's the
Right.
problem. And it's like, why would other teams take that if he's just going to be? Can I curse?
Yeah.
If he's going to be a dick and not go, he'll go somewhere and just not play.
Yeah.
So, it's a shitty situation because he wants to go to LA, and I don't know what LA is going to give the Sixers. I think they need to trade Embiid. I think it's like at this point.
I think it's just done.
I think it's I mean, it's just
We've given
he
it our
has,
best with him.
He's coming off an MVP season where his value is higher than it's ever been. You can get young, regain some picks and try and build for the future and try and build around like Maxey.
Yeah.
It's done. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe they'll bring in somebody and they'll make it.
What do you
happen.
think about Pat Bev?
Pat Bev? Oh yeah, they got him. I forgot. I kind of
You
checked
forgot
out
about
after.
him.
I kind of just checked out after they lost to Boston. I don't know. It's a guy. He's in his mid-30s. I can't
Yeah.
get really excited for that.
He's got like a whole thing with Barstool.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy.
It's like I just always find it interesting when players are like actively playing and then have shit like that. I mean, then again, Kelsey brothers are like killing it on the podcast world.
Yeah,
They are like the new Manning brothers.
Great guys,
but like
too.
way better.
great guys, awesome guys.
Yeah. Like just super genuine.
Yeah, Jason. I interviewed Jason.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he's good. I met Trav. Didn't get to interview him, but they're both really nice dudes.
Yeah, Jason is just like a dude.
He's just a
Like
guy's
he's
guy.
just a guy, yeah.
He's a guy's guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
all
more
that.
questions? Were you gonna ask me rip more questions at me?
No.
That's it.
I had she's a 10, but I just couldn't think of anything good.
She's a 10, but
Yeah, like she's a 10, but she gets mad at you if you want to play golf 3 times a week.
she's out.
Completely out.
She's out.
How's your golf game? Is
So
it worth
could be
getting rid
better.
of a 10?
Could be better. I probably need to play 3 times a week to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Castle Public Adjusters. If you have fallen victim to property damage, Castle Public Adjusters is your first and only call. They will make sure that you get the maximum compensation for your property loss. Remember, avoid the hassle, just call Castle. 215-752-1237. I've been recently doing a lot of mini golf.
Nice.
I'm like really good.
Maybe we should play each other and film it.
Short game, very good.
We should play each other and film it. We should.
It
Short
is.
game, very good. It's the whole game. Short game.
Yeah.
The whole game's your short game.
Well, I'm a 5'1", 129-pound woman that doesn't have a lot of upper body strength, so my driver's not great. I'm just saying, putts, I've been doing 10-foot putts in my living room, and I'm like really good.
Yeah. So if I gave you one of my golf clubs in here, you think you could sink a 10-foot putt, no problem?
For sure.
Okay.
1,000%. I have the
Dom, you
little...
have a golf club?
I used to, but I brought it. I just played
Do I
golf.
have it in
the
my
other
trunk?
day.
No, I don't have them in my trunk anymore.
Are you left-handed?
I can be.
Uh-huh.
I actually went miniature golfing. I started doing this thing. I do mic'd up mini golf.
Yeah, we should do this.
We
and
can.
We should play each other. This would be
So
fun.
there's a tournament coming up in Atlantic City on the 1st.
Wait a minute. There's a mini golf tournament?
Oh, I was just invited into another one.
Is there a winner? Mm-hmm. And they
Cash.
get cash. What's the cash prize?
The one I was supposed to do, I couldn't make it, but the one I was supposed to do, I think there was 5 places and $2,000 was the total of cash
Okay.
prizes.
So it's not
A
bad.
$50 buy-in.
$50 buy-in. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Is there like good players out there?
Yeah. I connected with a couple of these guys that like have like YouTube channels for it and stuff.
That's
and they
all.
were on this show on Hulu and ABC called Holy Moly, and it's like Wipeout, but with
Yeah, I
mini
know
golf.
a girl that won it.
Okay, well, these guys were on it.
What the hell was the girl's name? Those guys were on it.
I got one better for you.
They messaged me and they were like, come to this tournament. And I'm like, all right, I will.
You got me beat.
I don't care about who you know.
No, I interviewed
I thought
her.
you were about to grab a sea isle.
It's just great.
Should we shotgun one?
I'll watch you shotgun one.
I absolutely will not be shotgunning one. The cans are a little hard for shotgunning. I will tell them that.
Jewel, short game is a little more than just putting, though. You know that, right?
Yeah, but like I'm not bad.
I hear you.
I won the chip and putt contest at golf camp in 6th grade.
All right, let's
How
go.
many people were in that?
Well, there was a lot of people. It was the whole camp. I don't know.
There's a whole camp. Okay. Good for you.
All I know is there was this one little fucker that I knew like my whole grade school that was like the best golfer out there.
And what happened? You beat him.
It's like my claim to
Did you
fame.
let him know?
Oh, he knows.
Did you talk some shit after?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won the Gatorade and the new golf balls.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite the prize.
And my pride
And your pride.
to this day. And if I see that man again, I probably will at some point in time.
Give me a DX chop.
You know who you are.
Suck it.
He probably is watching this right now, honestly. I would be willing to
Is
bet.
this live?
No.
Okay.
But as he's watching it
As
in
he's
his
tuned
living
in.
room right now.
How about you? I'll ask you a question.
Wait, one more thing.
Go ahead.
So I went to this course in Atlantic City with some CIs because it's BYOB. Mm-hmm. And I played amazing at a 40. That's
Nice.
2 putts on every hole.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a couple hole-in-ones.
No, that's
so
not right. It's 18 holes. That'd be 36.
maybe it wasn't 40.
Okay.
Maybe it was 36.
Okay. That's a good score.
Yeah, and I was looking at the leaderboard for the league for the tournament that I was going to be in. There was like a league leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
And the best score from the week prior was a 36. And I'm like, wait
There's
a second.
only one round.
I'm not sure. I was in a league for Liberty Grounds in 17th and Girard. There's like a brewery putt-putt place.
Yeah.
I was in a league last year with them, and
How's the neighborhood there?
It's fine. It's great.
Okay. 17th and Girard.
Yeah, it's great. Great neighborhood. Right by a nice private school.
Okay.
Gated.
Gated. Why is it gated?
It's just private. No, I was in a league there, and every week it was different rules.
Okay.
And one of them was you had to putt with one hand, and the other hand you had to have a beer or a drink in your hand at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to this place, and I have a video of me putting fabulously
With one hand.
Sea Isle in my hand.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
but no,
is that how you play now? You just use one hand?
I could,
you just
or I can go left-handed because I'm ambidextrous.
Say it again.
Ambidextrous.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Ambidextrous. Also, by the way, I don't
Can we
know.
get a check on that? Is that the proper way to say that?
I don't know.
That one was not the first.
I don't know if you guys are like getting your eardrums blown out or what. I'm assuming that Dom has this under control because our guest
Me.
did not want to wear headphones.
I didn't.
Personal preference. I was going to be the only one not wearing headphones or wearing headphones.
But you could have still wore them.
Yeah, but then it would have looked weird.
I don't know. Would it have looked that weird?
All right, what was the question you wanted to ask?
See, now I'm all over the place.
Listen,
What was I going to ask you? I was going to ask you something. It was something. What's the craziest experience you've had, or most interesting customer that you've dealt with in real estate?
I have 2. One was from the lending side, a mortgage lender in New York. I met these clients. They came to an open house in Ben Salem. They didn't speak English. They were from New York. This guy was buying it for his sister or
Where were
something.
they from originally?
Originally?
Yeah, because people from New York speak English.
I don't know. They spoke Spanish.
Okay.
I forget where he's from. I still talk to this guy. The
Okay.
client is very nice. I did the entire deal in Google Translate.
Probably took a while.
Honestly, it was kind of fun. I felt like I was learning Spanish and like
Okay.
typing in code
That's
because
cool,
I would
though.
just like send it back and translate it. I know it was cool, whatever.
And you closed the deal.
Yeah.
Good for you.
$365,000 deal.
That's
Google
a
Translate.
good deal.
Anyways, he insisted on using a lender he's used before who was based out of New York, but the lender was licensed in PA. But in New York, it's chaos. Like their contracts are in and around. Like we might close in and around this day. and you might get this document in and around this day. Like, no, this is the timeline. If you break this timeline, you're out of contract. That's how we do it in PA.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do in New York. So the lender didn't like me. And not trying to like say I'm great, but I am a good agent. Like, and you can ask a lot of other real estate agents and a lot of other lenders that have worked with me. They will say like, easy to work with, very organized, like wants everyone to have a win-win. Like, I'm not an asshole. And there are a lot of people in this industry that are assholes on every side of it. So
It's any industry though.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, I know I'm not one of them.
No,
like,
I
I do
believe
my
that.
best, especially with my peers, to, like, just make it easy for everybody. And this lender was, like, it was during pandemic, like, timelines were back, banks were being annoying. Like, there was just, like, all these different things. It was at the end of the year. And they had, like, something else open with him, like a refinance on a different property. And, like, they just weren't telling me anything. And that was getting me in trouble with the seller and the listing agent. And so one day, like, this guy, one of the lenders, like, he was, like, the boss of the guy that was writing the loan, like, basically got on the phone and, like, screamed at me and, like, cursed me out. And was just like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you don't know how to do your job. Like, called me names, like, shortened my name, like, was calling me, like, Julie. And, like, was just, like, extremely disrespectful. And I just had it on speakerphone, like, in the office. And the listing agent for the house that we were buying was in my office. And he hears it, and he comes running down. And he was like, is this that fucking lender? And I was like, yeah. I'm just sitting here, like, I think I maybe was 21. And I'm like, I don't even know what to say to this fucking guy. Like, I want to, like, get in my car and drive to New York and beat the shit out of this dude. Like, that's how bad it was. So, yeah, he just, like, the listing agent actually got on the phone and, like, told him that I think he cursed him out back. But I've never in my life been spoken to the way that guy spoke to me. It wasn't even my fault.
It's not a fun time.
Like, I never even got into an argument with, like, a girl or somebody in high school, like, where someone spoke to me in such, like, degrading manner.
Yeah.
Like, you're an idiot, you're an asshole, I don't know who the fuck gave you a real estate license, like,
That's fucked.
because he didn't know how to follow a timeline or
Yeah.
communicate. The deal closed.
Yeah. That wouldn't have flown. I wouldn't have dealt with that.
Other than that, I had, like, a really crazy lady just, like, make shit up and just was, like, hard to deal with. But I think I've actually had it, like, pretty easy. Like, I know a lot of real estate agents that have dealt with, like, squatters or, like, getting, like, jumped on showings. Like, real estate agents, especially female real estate agents, get, like, targeted all the time. We'll have, like, we have these things that will go on in, like, our, like, MLS or, like, our association will send out, like, a mass email, like, hey, if you get a call from, like, this person with this name saying this, this, and this, like, it's a scam. Like, they're trying to, like, kidnap
Yeah.
real estate agents. Like, I always say keep a taser on me. I should have a gun, but I don't. Don't come and get me. I don't have a gun yet. What? Don't shake your head at me.
You are a resident of a state where you can, so you should.
I know. Well,
Yeah,
the
you
thing
can
is,
open carry in PA.
I was taking lessons
Good.
for a while. I just didn't feel like, as a civilized person, that I should just go and buy a gun and have it on me without having proper training.
That's respectable, but you should.
Yeah.
You should move forward with that process.
I do have an alarm system in my house.
I don't know how that's gonna help you if you get jumped, but
I'm just saying, like,
it's-
if I was gonna, like, just keep it at
stand
home.
back. I have an alarm system at home.
I'm saying,
sound
like, if
this
I was
shit.
just gonna have it at home and not carry, like, I'm not just, like, free doing life. But
Probably not a bad idea to.
I always keep a taser on me. If I'm going into a
Little pepper spray?
situation, I have pepper spray. If I'm going into a situation or a neighborhood that I feel like I am unsafe solo, I always tell someone.
That's smart.
I've taken my old office I worked at before, my broker carried. And one time I needed to do a closing, do a final walkthrough for investors in Philly, and they were not going to be there, so I would have to do it by myself. Property was like $60K. And the area was very active at all times of the day.
Active. Elaborate.
I don't think I'm going to.
Okay.
I think
Kensington?
I don't know what the guidelines are for real estate and talking about this. I'm not really sure, but basically it was very active with people. Mm-hmm. And I did not feel safe going there by myself, unlocking a door, being inside the house by myself without have like full peripheral behind me view.
Yeah.
So my broker came with me and she carries a gun.
There you go.
Yeah. So it matters who you work with.
Absolutely.
Any other questions for me?
If I think of one, I'll ask it.
How are we doing on time?
We are at 52 minutes.
Wow, that's a long one.
What do they typically run?
Right about there.
52 minutes.
No, not 52 minutes. I try to keep it under an hour.
Okay.
I don't really think I would listen more than an hour.
People would.
Well,
This one.
Okay, let me go back. I have listened to multiple podcasts that are longer than an hour. The name is leaving me. Part of My Take.
Yeah.
That shit's so long.
It's long.
And Spit and Chicklets too.
Overrated. Chicklets is better.
I like Chicklets because it keeps me in the know of like what's going on.
Yeah, I think Chicklets is way better. I think Part of My Take, like I like Big Cat. I think it's a little overrated.
I'm a Big Cat fan and I'm also a Biz fan. So those are the two reasons why I like both of those podcasts. But
Rogan's episodes are sometimes like 4 hours.
They get up there. I just listened in segments to an interview that was 6 hours long.
yeah.
It's a wonderful
So
interview.
I've had people say to me, "Oh, your episodes are too long."
Just like that?
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Oh, your episodes are too long. Like
be
you
like,
got to do
okay.
like 25 minutes.
I'd be like,
How about if you don't
Kick
have
fucking
25?
rocks.
If you don't have an hour, then you can split it in half if you really want to listen to it. And if you don't, I don't give a shit.
yeah, just be like, turn it off after 25 minutes.
But I will say I drove all the way up to like Reading area to be on someone's podcast.
That's such an exciting area.
I hate driving. I drove all the way up because I didn't want to do it on Zoom. I liked the in-person thing. I liked the good quality. And it was 19 minutes.
So you drove 2 hours to talk for 19 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Reading sucks, by the way. I was being sarcastic.
I'm not a fan.
Okay, just making sure you guys. Yeah, Reading.
Oh, no, we know.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
We're very high emotional intelligence
Okay,
here.
I know. I figured that. No, I figured that.
Oh, okay. Just checking. I'm going to run through my notes real quick here.
Go for it.
I think we
I've
covered
been
everything.
on a podcast in a long time. Like I did one for a while.
What made you say yes to this?
I don't know. I like listening to some of the stuff that you had, so I was like,
Yeah.
why not?
He's doing the press tour. He's about to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it.
Gotta push
I
it.
think it's a good
Yeah,
idea. We could
gotta
get it
push
out
it.
sooner than later.
I'd like, when you do come back, I'd like to talk about, like, you're about to get into YouTube again.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to hear about, like, the strategy. When you do come back
Yeah.
after you did it for a while, I'd love to hear about it.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was one
You
of
do
the...
a show as well?
I do a couple, not my personal one, but I'm on YouTube all the time.
Okay.
We have Instagram. We have all other accounts, but I'm always interested in people's strategy and what they're doing, just to see the different things out there.
He also... I don't do anything.
Okay. All right.
He does everything.
He does. You just
Yeah.
show up.
I get people like you to come on,
Okay.
and then...
Who's the biggest guest you've had?
Probably you.
Let's go.
Nice. I'll take it.
I don't like to hype people up like that. No, I'm just kidding. I think
take it.
you, right?
Take it. I don't know.
So I did film an episode that comes out tomorrow with a friend of mine. His name's Ken. He is a Instagram YouTuber, real estate agent out of Orlando. He owns an Instagram account called The Orlando Real. But I don't know, I think that's at like around under 40,000 followers on there.
Okay.
If that's what we're basing it off of.
No, it's
Following?
just no. I think it can be.
Trying to think
multitude of
about-
things.
Yeah, I would say that you're probably... I have some people in the queue
Okay.
that we haven't filmed yet.
Who's a guest you would want to get on? Do you want to what's your goal with this? Like, where do you want to take this to?
I'm so glad you asked this.
Go ahead.
We're going to be here for another hour. No, I'm just kidding. No, actually, one of the reasons why because I've been following... Well, I guess I really haven't been following the actual page, but I've like seen your content for a while now. Maybe it's on other things. I don't know how that works. Like I always
Barstool's
think,
posted our stuff too. Barstool Philly.
like I've
posts
seen
our
you
stuff
interview
a bit more.
people. Yeah, Barstool Philly probably has.
Have you ever
posted.
seen me in person or no?
No,
Okay.
I don't like the cold. So if it was a tailgate, I wasn't there.
Okay. Well, I did tailgate last week. Preseason game.
I hosted a tailgate last week.
For the Eagles?
It was Phillies and Eagles. We did it in Xfinity.
I was probably there.
Not at my tailgate.
Not at your tailgate, but I was there.
I had a DJ, I had a caterer, had all types of fun stuff.
It's a shame. It's a shame we didn't record this.
What?
It's a shame I didn't know. The girl I did my show with before, she's a bartender at Xfinity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you probably saw her. She was probably there.
So when I first started doing this, it was called Realtor-ish. And I would bring in people that I felt had something in addition to being successful or really awesome real estate agents or in the real estate world. Because in this industry, I've had a lot of opportunities to start other businesses or do other things through people that I've met, which I think is really awesome. And then I also thought, okay, like this would be a good platform to give these people like the spotlight and provide value and blah, 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 blah.
Of course.
Obviously I talk a lot, whatever. So if we take it like all the way back, like young child, I was like on the morning show and shit in middle school.
Okay.
Like I always
You
liked
talking
doing.
the loudspeaker and stuff?
We had like a full studio production with a teleprompter, and it would be like whatever the updates were.
And this would be on like a TV?
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So it was called Sunny Side Up, and that was like my first thing. And I wanted to be in sports broadcasting.
Did
back
people
then.
like make fun of you for it?
No, it was like cool.
Okay, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. It was
If I
like
did some shit like that, people would have been like, fucking loser.
yeah. Well, in high school, it was a loser thing to do. In the high school that I went to, it wasn't cool, and I didn't do it.
Okay.
The one in high school, but in middle school, you had to like
Yeah, people did that in my middle school too. I remember we had these old shitty TVs, and I remember they would come on in the morning.
you had to like try out for it and like get selected. There was only 6 people every year. It was 3 8th graders, 3 7th graders. It was like a whole thing.
Interesting.
And in Bensalem, I didn't go to Bensalem High School, but Bensalem High School had Al's TV network, and that was like a big deal too. Like people thought that was cool. It wasn't like a lame thing to do, and that was like on local TV.
That's cool.
And everything. So back then I wanted to be in sports broadcasting, and I wanted to be like a sports reporter, and that was my whole thing. Like I was all into it, and then as soon as I got to high school, I'm like, that's lame. I'm gonna be super cool and play sports and party.
Do you think it's lame now?
No, that would have been so sick. But also, you don't have to go to school for journalism to do stuff like that
Nope.
anymore,
No, you don't.
because then you can just get the opportunity to go to the Kentucky Derby
Oh, you saw that.
and interview people, or the Indy 500. Like, how does that happen? Like, at what point do you get called for that? Do you reach out for that?
So the Kentucky Derby was kind of a strike of luck. So like I said, third part owner Craig, who came on a year ago, we met him. He's an attorney. He actually has season tickets to Churchill Downs. So he knows the CEO of Churchill. We applied, and he was able to put a word in for it. We also had the credibility from covering the national championship. We got credentialed for the national championship in LA, and now it's a lot easier for us to get like different events. So Indianapolis 500, that really wasn't hard to get because we had the Kentucky Derby to show, and we had the national championship.
But are you reaching out to Indy 500?
No, Craig does most of the applying. Craig or Doug.
But
Doug
like
applies
someone from
too.
your team is calling them.
Correct.
They're not calling them.
Yeah. We
Okay.
apply online, and then we'll email. Or if we know somebody who's
Yeah.
anywhere in that.
All about who you know, who's in your circle.
It is, yeah. It's networking's so big. So the girl Rachel who got us the stuff for the national championship, she's also a part of March Madness as well. So if we need to cover the Final Four, she can hook us up with that. So,
That's awesome.
So the Super Bowl is the plan this year, Daytona 500 as well.
Yeah. So I brought that up because Dom asked me that. Like when I first came in to do this podcast, he was like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I know how to sell houses and I'm doing pretty good at it at the time. I'm still fine, but like I don't know. That's what I knew. However, if you could like not put a dollar amount, it was just like you could do whatever you want and you'll be set and that's it. Like this is what you do for fun and you're passionate about it. I love the idea of like an in-arena host or like a Ryan Seacrest type of like interviewer-esque type of
Like an MC type of.
MC,
Yeah.
like some type of content creator. Like I was like a little late to it, but I watched Emma Chamberlain on YouTube a lot. And I don't know if you know who
it sounds familiar.
She's a vlog style YouTuber. She's young. I think she might have like just turned 21, maybe 22.
She's huge, probably, right?
Huge.
It's insane.
And she started when she was like 16 and like dropped out of high school, got her GED, went full-time vlogger, moved out, was like in LA. Her brand has like changed over time, but one of the things that I admire a lot about her is that she's always been in the like fashion and like her opinion matters for whatever reason. Like she's just like grown that following. And so she'll get invited like by Vogue to interview people on the red carpet. And that's just based off her influence. Like she didn't go to school for journalism or any of that.
Does that stuff interest you, like red carpet stuff?
I think just like interviewing in general.
Okay.
Let
me know.
Yeah.
Just let me know. We can do some stuff.
So that would be like a dream job for me.
Yeah.
So I've like done.
And you can make it happen.
Yeah.
Just if you resource properly, you can definitely make it happen.
I've done a few things in the real estate realm that are like similar. So for Keller Williams, I've done a couple like Instagram takeovers at their big conferences, and I'll interview people while I'm doing that. I'm doing something this weekend coming up. There's like a boxing event in Atlantic City that the people that are running it are having me do something similar to that. So I'm like close to it.
Yeah.
It's like happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say like that's generally like people ask me like, why do you do the podcast? I just, as like a content creator and a public figure, it's just a way for me to have good conversations, high value content. The reels do very well.
They look really good. I mean, what kind of camera is that, Dom?
This one is an A7S III.
Yeah. How much does it cost? Like, because I think I know, like, how much is it? Like, is that one around like 2,000? Because I've been looking at different cameras now because we're getting a new one for the road.
Why don't we?
We'll talk after. Yeah.
Dom's not dropping prices on nothing.
Yeah. I don't need to actually. Yeah,
I mean, that's Googleable, but let's talk after.
Yeah. If it's the one I think I was looking at, but then it's like, then you got to buy lenses.
I couldn't do any of this without
Cameras are
Dom.
crazy expensive.
For sure.
Yeah,
I have people all the time.
I'm looking at it on there, and I saw your site. It looks really good. You guys have a really good setup here.
Thanks.
I get Dick for asking how much the camera is on.
Good.
I'm acting like I'm just talking to him. I'm acting like I'm just talking. That's my bad.
No, it's fine.
That's my bad.
I told you this was going to be like relaxed.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God. I did an interview with this girl that I followed for forever who's been in sports.
Kay Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kay's great.
She was like,
She torched me.
why are you so
I know.
Why are you so serious?
I could tell you why I was so serious because I didn't sleep the night before. I was on Adderall. I was like, it was a mess.
I was gonna.
I was nervous.
Say that Kay Adams is a smoke show and she's awesome.
Well, no, she's definitely an attractive person. I was nervous on that too, but it was just like that stuff typically doesn't bother. I literally was just nervous because I had never done a red carpet event. That's honestly why I was nervous. It was a whole different vibe. It's not your typical tailgate. Like I'm around.
Yeah, and it's more
ABC, NBC. Like all these big people are here, and it's like.
That's one of the videos I saw of you, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I really like this shit.
Yeah. No, Bobby Flay. Mm-hmm. But like next year, I'll be so much more ready.
Well, it's reps.
Yeah, it is. And it's just, I know like what I'll be able to do more of and stuff.
The first episode that I did here, we never released.
It was just, you have to, We did like practice ones before I even released one with my last co-host.
Yeah. The content in general was good. The quality, even though we were in the studio, we didn't know what we liked. We didn't know like lighting wise. Like if you look at that cut or that like episode versus what we do now, it's just completely different. Like lighting.
It?
Yeah.
All right. I want to check it out.
Yeah, you should check it out. The lighting is like totally different. We've changed this so many times.
And how long have you been here?
I think this is about 11 months, maybe a little more.
Okay. Good for you, man.
Oh,
What's
so
your
you
dream?
weren't here that much before I came in then?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What was that?
What's your dream?
I said, what's your dream with all this stuff?
So it's evolving right now. So it's kind of hard to articulate it. It was to be a creative director. Then, I mean, arguably I achieved that just depending on scale. But now my dream is to have a media production conglomerate, but also something that can function way beyond my input. So we're trying to scale businesses, and if you can't step away and have it function properly or even better, that's not really what I want to get into. So it's evolving right now.
Do you want to do
trying
any
to
more
figure that
content? Would you want to like?
Oh yeah, I
build some more
love doing
content?
it. I love doing content. That's really what we love doing. However, we need branches to be able to scale up and perform to get to where we really want to get to. Like we want to do a volumetric studio, which is a room full of LED panels that you can hook your computer up to and program an environment that's also tracked to your camera. So instead of a green screen, you can actually just put the scene on it and it moves as you're filming your people with the environment.
They
It's
have
crazy
so
stuff,
much
but it's
cool
like
shit.
$1 million.
It's insane. No, I mean, you see, it's like another thing I didn't really mention that we want to do is streaming. Like streaming's become such a big thing, and that's why I'm looking at these type of cameras to just go on Twitch and like blow it up too, because people are literally just
I love when they do like the sports, when Barstool
the Barstool
does
live stream. Yeah, we're going to be doing, I don't think we'll be doing we might do some of that stuff because we want to probably get more into sports betting. So like that'll probably come about, but we want to do more stuff like even like if you've seen Aiden Ross or Kai Sinet, like they literally just do nonsense. And we just want to sit in our hotel room and do literal nonsense. Like out of nowhere, just
I'm popping out to the tour. This sounds like my kind
You're
of
more than
time.
welcome to come. Either of you guys come
We're
out.
coming.
I'm being dead serious
Dom
when
and
I
I are
say
hitting
that.
the road.
I literally,
Let's go.
You were gonna. I'll pull up the schedule in a second so you can listen to some of the places we're going. So if any of those places strike your interest,
Sure.
come on out. But just like random stuff, sit in our hotel room. We could throw like just hockey gear on, just start a full-fledged hockey game in the hotel room.
Fuck yeah.
Just like and just be checking
That's
the
like-
shit out of each other, probably destroying a hotel room. But
Dude,
like,
that's like the one time, I think I might have said this on the podcast too before. I always forget like what stories I say, but my friend Kate and I did a slip and slide in her dining room.
Oh my gosh.
exactly.
Like if we streamed that, that would have.
And all you have to do, and like we know how we're gonna build it up. Like TikTok, even though TikTok sucks, we get shadow banned all the time.
Why?
They just, God forbid, somebody's drinking or smoking a cigarette in the background. They flag their videos. I'm not allowed on TikTok Live because, yeah, they just didn't. They said
do?
our content was hateful. Which it might have been a little bit, but it wasn't hateful. That's like the thing. Like we did a March Madness bracket. Did you ever see this?
I don't think so. Not that it was hateful.
And it really wasn't hateful. I mean, to some people it might have been, but we did a March Madness bracket, but we put people in it. We had like O.J. Simpson versus Helen Keller, and like people would
All
vote
right,
on
well,
who they liked
that's
better.
all that way.
It's comedy
not-
and the line. Some people
some
pull
people
the
just
line way back.
Get
I think TikTok
irritated.
is a little.
Yeah.
Like
So-
I'll sometimes go on TikTok live while I'm like doing my hair, like working on paperwork or something, and I'll have music in the background, and then like Drake will curse, and then they'll be like,
Yeah, you can get flagged.
Oh.
You can get flagged. It's so dumb.
it's like not even me.
But we were getting like the one that I literally had 15,000 people in my live, and it was insane. The comments were insane.
You can't even keep up.
Oh no,
when
you
they're
couldn't.
like that.
It was like I stopped paying attention
Because I know I've had like 300 or 400, and like even at that, like
It's a lot.
can't
People
even
are
see what
commenting.
people are saying.
Yeah, it was insane, and we would get like 2,000 to 3,000 every single night just being on it.
Yeah, I think
And-
that's smart.
It
Going
wa-
live.
It was until we got.
So you're not allowed
until
to
we
do
got
it at
shadow
all?
banned. I can't on that account now. So I've been like trying to fight for that now for like a month. So that's been a thing, but like Twitch and the other ones, I forget what's the other one. Kick. I forget the other streaming device. But Aiden
Yeah.
Ross. I mean, the money that these streamers are making now is incredible. It's actually insane.
We've talked about doing something live.
You should.
I would do like current events and sports, like another show live.
You should. Definitely could. Put a twist on it though.
Like what?
I don't know. Think of a twist.
That's
Look
what
at
I'm
like
saying.
a lot of different shows. Like they just have something. Like the ones that do really well. Like look at the girl who's interviewing people and she's just so monotoned. And she had Drake on.
I know,
and she had-
dude.
And
That shit drives me crazy.
It
One
is.
of her boobs is bigger than the other by a gigant. That was her thing. You
Oh,
didn't
when she
notice
was
that?
the TikTok mom, more
Yeah.
content. Yeah.
If one
From
is
breastfeeding.
freaking watermelon,
Wait.
one's a grapefruit.
isn't she, how old is she?
Bobby something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how she got started. She does mom stuff on TikTok.
She's a kid.
She's 2, I think. Yeah, she looks young. She's not old, but she looks younger than she is.
Interesting. Do you think she's funny? He's shaking his head.
I don't laugh out loud.
So you don't think she's funny? That's how I consider somebody funny.
I
Like,
think I
they're
liked
funny.
the Drake interview, but I'm obsessed with Drake.
Did you watch the Tiger one? There's like a sloth kind of in the background.
Wait, I did.
Like a porcupine in between them.
I did watch some clips from Tyga.
Okay.
But yeah, the Drake one was where she got me.
They're like in a bed, right? They're
Yeah.
just like sitting in a bed. How did she even get Drake?
Oh, that's the question you gotta ask, my friend.
She told.
I think they
she's
talked
on
about it.
BFFs. She told how she
Yeah.
did it. She used to pay people to come on her podcast, like $300, the most influence she could get, like in LA, wherever. She would drive. She would like pump, breastfeed, get in her car, go do these things, and come back, like hustling. And then one day she got someone, like I forget the full story, but basically she got someone, and then Drake liked it, like liked one of her reels. And so at that moment, she just immediately like DM'd him and was like, when are you going to come on my podcast? Like, just shot her shot. And he answered and was like, yeah. And then from there, she didn't have any management. She didn't have like anything that was like supporting all the things. So Drake was like, you have to use these people. And then he connected them with his management. And that's why everyone thought that she was an industry plant, because she was using his, like, a very
people.
industry type
His
of people.
Yeah. And who is better people than Drake?
But if you go on the BFFs podcast when they interviewed her, she tells the whole story. Like,
Who was your favorite guest on the BFF?
I don't really have a favorite guest. I just like the three of them. I think they have good.
Okay.
I think Dave got a lot of shit in the beginning for like doing this like young podcast with these TikTokers, and like he's trying to be young, but
He's smart.
he's so smart. He's so smart. I think it does extremely well. It's entertaining. I like that the one dude like makes the call sheet, and like they don't know really exactly what they're talking about for the most part until they like sit down and get it, and they kind of just go over it. And if it's like not that big a deal, he's like, all right, fuck this, we're done.
Yeah. Dave's whole, like Barstool's whole evolution is pretty insane. If you've ever watched the documentary, it's pretty insane.
Big
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. Okay. I can tell. But
We've talked about it like
but
8 times on the podcast.
we've talked
today.
about a lot of different stuff, but the music tour thing that I want to put together
Yeah.
is pretty much inspired by the Blackout Tour. I don't know if we're going to do it as crazy as the Blackout Tour, because he got a lot of backlash and was like, potentially getting sued by a lot of people and stuff, and he lost a ton of money, but something similar in a sense of rave.
He got sued for.
Not even sued. He just
wasn't-
got it wasn't even necessarily he got sued. He literally just got destroyed by the media and a lot of
For,
women
like, making
for,
people-
It was like, what did they say? It was an environment that is susceptible to rape, or like making women look really bad because they
I think you could do it
basically
in a
weren't wearing anything, and yeah,
I think you could do it in a different way.
I think we definitely can. I think
Just in a more like positive party scene.
yeah, and we've kind of been in that space already. We've done events with frats at Alabama, where they put. It's insane how much money these frats have. By the way.
Bama is crazy.
Bama, we did at Ole Miss. We did Arizona State. We'll be back at Arizona State this year for a Halloween event, Halloween. Shout out if you guys want to come. You're more than welcome to come.
I would definitely come. Oh, that's
and-
my favorite.
Yeah, so it's something we've kind of dipped our feet in, but we want to be full-fledged in. So
Yeah.
that's kind of why I'm going on tour. It's because I'm going to get the taste of like just being away and consistently being on the road.
I'm really excited for you.
I appreciate it. Excited
I
for
think-
you. You got to keep doing the podcast. You're good at
Thank
it.
you.
It's
Thank
good. This
you.
is relaxed. I don't feel pressured.
That's what I like when people come in here. Like they're like, oh well, what are the questions? What are we gonna do? And I'm like,
Yeah.
as long as you're not like closed off, like if you're willing to have a conversation. And sometimes I have to get people comfortable. Like they like, you can see they kind of like relax into the chair.
Yeah.
They like realize like it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's awesome though. I think the tour will be really good, and we are definitely excited to have you back.
Yeah.
talk more
Anytime.
about that
We
when-
hope you guys come out.
I'm coming.
Dom, you got to come.
Dom and I are hitting the road.
I know we're kind of pushing on time.
Yeah, no, for sure. Tell them your socials, even though they probably already know.
Well, I think my name on Instagram, right, is at Enterprize Dan, and Enterprise with a Z, ENTERPRIZE Sports. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. It's not Twitter anymore. What is it? Just X?
No, I'm not doing that. I can't believe he did that.
Yeah. You know, I just like recently found out about this.
Do you use Threads?
I did. Like, I think Doug
for the
posted
first
on
couple of
Riz.
days.
I didn't even realize we had a following on it.
Yeah. Well, it's like kind of automatic.
Yeah. It kind of
If
just
they
like,
click it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, but then I saw
then
the
just
stat that like
died
70% of the people who were on it early are already off it.
Yeah, I haven't gone on it.
Because the algorithm sucks on it. There like
Yeah.
is no algorithm. Like, you can't go viral basically unless you have like followers.
Right. Yeah, I haven't been on it. Yes, your Instagram is no spaces, no capitals, Enterprise with a Z, Sports Dan.
Yes.
And you can also find them on Enterprise Sports and Enterprise EU. And if you are not following me already, mine on Instagram is JUL_the Realtor, JUL the Realtor on TikTok, Selling Your Circle _podcast on Instagram and TikTok. If you are not checked in on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can find us there and on YouTube. And we will see you next time.
Thanks again.